welcome back, and happy Friday Eve. Happy 4th of July weekend Eve, I guess. Edition of the Purple Rain podcast. Thank you for spending your Thursday evening here with us on episode 420. Yes, the Kim Herring and the Ed Reed episode. Probably the only two players that ever wear 20 for this franchise. Welcome back. And if you are here in the chat, let us know. And if you have not subscribed already, please do if you want to talk in the chat. But you can follow us here on Instagram at the Purple Rain Podcast. This guy right here on Instagram or on X as Sutton Def. Me, Instagram simply as10.prod, X simply as10. And there isn't a whole lot of Ravens news to talk about, but we will talk about that. Other sports going on. Of course, NFL is the league that never sleeps. Always getting news about the old National Football League. But yes, it is Friday Eve. It is Thursday. How are we doing, Sutton? How's the week going? It is currently very hot here. I know I'm wearing a long sleeve, but believe me, it's triple digits here.
Is it really? That's
it is
crazy. I heard it was like 101 or like 102 or something in Maryland right now. It's crazy because here in Texas, it's a nice, cool 86. You know, it feels great outside today, but the past couple of weeks, it has been like blazing hot, but it's cooled down a little bit this week. But I couldn't be better, man. I mean, I'm feeling good. It's 4th of July weekend. You got any plans for 4th of July weekend, Alex?
Yeah, going a little get together. You know, the fireworks. I will not be lighting the fireworks because I will not turn into Jason Pierre-Paul Part 2.
Yeah.
What about you?
Don't need that. I am definitely going to enjoy some fireworks. They do 4th of July pretty big out here in Texas. And especially in my community, so there's like this little family-friendly event where you can go when the sun goes down, and like they've got like food trucks and different vendors out there that you can buy things from, and it's really cool. There's also kids and games and fireworks, of course, and it's just a really great time. So definitely will be partaking in that this weekend, the festivities, and I can't wait. I cannot wait. I'll have a drink in hand probably the whole time. But yeah. I saw a post earlier. I think it was on Threads. I saw a post and it was like somebody said, maybe this is just like the woke in me, but like, is it time to like get rid of fireworks completely because it's bad for the environment and like, dogs and veterans and stuff like that. And it got me to think, and I was just like, we got to have a little fun, right? Like you can't get rid of all the fun in the world, right? Am I right, Alex?
Noise canceling headphones. That's definitely something. I know people maybe give the dog a little nighttime sleep medicine if their dog does not like the fireworks, but no, we keep the fireworks going. I mean, even New Year's. Are we gonna, New Year's? I know in Baltimore they have a big thing at the harbor, setting off fireworks for the New Year here. You can't get rid of that in the big cities. You can't get rid of that. I'm pro firework, but obviously there is a limit to everything. But for the most part, yeah, I'm all for the fireworks.
Yeah, man, I'm all for it too. A lot of people are saying the alternative is, hey, look, why don't you just do like a drone show? And I'm like, okay. I mean, look, man, I don't know. I don't know about the whole drone show thing. It's like, it feels like, honestly, Alex, I'm going to just say it. It feels like we're pussyfying stuff little by little. You know what I mean? Not to start off the episode hot like that. But yeah, I mean, that's what I'm feeling. Okay.
I'm seeing people go against the USA, want us to lose. And do not confuse patriotism with politics. Please don't. I am proudly rooting on the USA. I said I'd be rooting on basketball, hockey, cornhole, bobsledding, anything. Any sport when it comes to the country I was born. Obviously, if you came from a different country, I get that. But I'm seeing people, hoping we lose. To Bosnia?
Yeah, that's wild. Again, like I said, like you said, I understand like hating the current administration regime, but when it comes to World Cup, when it comes to the Olympics, me personally, I separate the two, the politics and what I agree and disagree with, and just cheering on like everybody being able to come together for once in our lives and cheer on the same cause, right? Against the rest of the world. It's literally us, the US, against the world, right? That's the motto. So it's just like, I don't get it. But some people just, it's really the people, Alex, who don't give a rat's ass about sports to begin with. They're the ones who are like, okay, World Cup is on. I also hate America right now. Let me go ahead and root against America. And it's just like, for a sports fan, it's like, man, I mean, we get it. You can have your politics, whichever way you lean. But like, come on, man. It's sports. It's sports. It's competition. And like, it's us against them at the end of the day. Right. So, but yeah.
Can't
Yeah.
Mm.
Can't get behind that. Asmodeus says, "Who is doing a drone show?" That's the comment. Oh my gosh, Asmodeus. Um, I don't know, but
Drone
I've
show.
heard drone shows are. I mean, I've heard they can be pretty cool. I've seen videos of them. I've never actually witnessed one in person, admittedly, but can also be a little bit dangerous. I've heard, especially if it's flying over you. Let's say one
Yeah.
malfunctions, whatever, falls out of the sky, it hits a baby in the head. I don't know about that. You know, I'm
Yeah.
good with just good old fashioned fireworks. That's just me. That's just me. But
Mm.
anywho,
Especially a
again,
Ravens game, real quick. Like for the intros, when you've been to a nighttime Ravens game and the fireworks go off, it is a sight to see. We ain't getting rid of that.
yeah,
No drone show will replicate Lamar Jackson running out the tunnel, waving the towel, and the fireworks go off.
fireworks going off, the jets are flying overhead. You can't beat that.
Yeah, we
You
aren't
can't beat
replicating
that.
that. Come on now.
Yeah.
Come on.
SV Cam in the chat says, "What's going on, Sutton and Alex? What's going on, SV Cam? I see Zeke Okage in the live chat as well. Shout out to the entire live chat in here right now. Tila in the M stands for moderator. Appreciate you for coming through as well. Tila, as always, good evening to you. And also, of course, we would be remiss if we did not give a huge shout out to the hashtag replay gang. That's right. You listening right now, driving in your car, sitting at home at work, walking the dog, making dinner, doing whatever you're doing, right? You're listening to the replay of this stream. We appreciate you just as much. Be sure to comment down below any questions, comments, concerns you got on this video here. And be sure to like and hype the video. RJ is in the chat. What's going on, RJ? RJ says, "My guy, what's going on, RJ? Appreciate you for coming through." RJ is out there living his best life, man. Shout out to him. Just big things back to back. I mean, he's doing big things in life, man. Shout out to my guy, RJ. Let me see. I think we had a question. Honest question: did Ronaldo get Botox? Ooh.
As I'm wearing his jersey, I think he did. That man, besides you know football carrying his life, it's the face. He's always had that handsome look to him. It would get him the brand deals. I definitely think he did. I definitely think he did.
Interesting. Yeah, I haven't really taken a close look at him, but he does seem like, I mean, his face looks like it's made in a lab. It seems like really snatched, especially for his age. I don't know, it's like maybe it's probably his skincare routine or something. You know what I mean? His girl's probably got him on a crazy skincare regimen, or whoever he pays to do that, but he still looks very young. How old is Ronaldo again?
41.
So he's older than Messi. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah.
Interesting. I thought Messi was maybe like a couple years older. That's interesting. Portugal played today, right?
In 14 minutes, and Ronaldo has never scored a knockout round goal.
Ooh.
Never.
Ooh.
6
Pressure's
World
on.
Cups. Yeah.
Pressure's on, my guy. Pressure's on. Okay. Let's go ahead and get into some Ravens talk here. So, first topic of the day, chat. Glenn Clark Radio had Jeff Zrebiec on their show, and Jeff Zrebiec talked kind of at length here about what he thinks about the current situation when it comes to center on the Ravens and what they should do going forward. Let's take a listen and then react afterwards, Alex.
Is there a starting caliber center that's on this roster, or do they still need to address that between now and August?
I think they need to address it. Could they get away with starting Danny Pinter, who, looks to be the leader in the clubhouse based on what we've seen through the workout program, the OTAs? Could they get away with starting him for a couple weeks, or him being a Band-Aid kind of plan for a little while? I think so, as long as you're strong at the guard spots and the rest of the O-line. And I think you expect, you paid Dwayne Ledford rather handsomely to get these guys to a new level, but is that the plan you want? I mean, when this was clearly, if this wasn't the 1A priority, it was 1B, and the other priority was obviously adding juice to the pass rush. And can you really say you completely, I don't want to say fixed, but drastically improve the offensive line when you're kind of starting a guy at center, a guy who's not established himself as a starter despite being a veteran? I think that's a tough sell. The only guy who keep coming back to is Garrett Bradbury. Bears, as we know, drafted Logan Jones in the second round, the guy the Ravens kind of were targeting. That guy's not a young rookie. That's a guy that is an older guy. That's a plug-and-play guy. So you don't really, you can draft him and have him sit for a year under Bradbury, who you also traded for, but you're already wasting a prime year of an older draft pick who's also not a first-round pick, so you don't have that extra year involved with him. So do you want to do that? I thought all along Bradbury's a solid guy. He played under Dwayne Ledford at NC State, so the Ravens will have plenty of intel on him. Would there be a drop-off after Linderbaum? Yes, a little bit. He's not Tyler Linderbaum, but the Patriots went to the Super Bowl with Garrett Bradbury as their center. I think he'd be solid. And I think solid right now is fine. You know, you think that you've really improved that right guard and you've improved that left guard. Solid at center to me works, and you could really paint the picture of a improved offensive line. However, are the Bears just going to give him up? Probably going to have to overpay more than probably the player's worth. They traded a fifth-round pick, I believe, to get him from the Patriots. But as we all know, teams don't trade quality offensive line depth much.
Okay, Alex, so you heard there from Jeff Zariback talking about, is it an easy, like it might be just like a plug and play thing, like an easy fix almost to go ahead and get Garrett Bradbury off of the Bears. The Bears just recently drafted Logan Jones out of Iowa in this past year's draft, which was a guy who was, mocked to the Ravens in a couple of different mock drafts here, maybe even one of ours here on this channel. So they have a viable center, the Bears do. So maybe they'd be willing to move off of a Garrett Bradbury and trade him to the Ravens. Now let's take a look here at his PFF kind of profile page here. Garrett Bradbury, of course, plays the center position, 6'3", 300 pounds. He's 31 years old. Most recently played with the Bears, obviously. Now, here's the thing. Overall grade, 60.1. 30th out of 40 centers. Now, again, say what you want about PFF grades, but I'm just reading them out for you. Pass block grade, 63.1. Run block grade, 56.2. Snap count, 1070. The only thing that I saw that was a massive difference in terms of at least these PFF stats, and again, take it with a grain of salt, between Garrett Bradbury and Danny Pinter was the snap count last year. Danny Pinter was not a starter, okay? But when he did play, he registered similar grades to Garrett Bradbury. So I just don't know if, and Jeff Zariback makes the argument in that clip there that we just listened to, Alex, that if the Ravens were to go out and try to acquire Garrett Bradbury via trade, they would have to, from the Bears, they would have to pony up basically a convenience fee, right? They know that the season is quickly approaching. The Ravens need a viable center on their team. And while the Bears kind of have the luxury right now of having two starting caliber centers in Bradbury and Logan Jones, the highly touted rookie, they might be able to move off. They might be willing to move off of him, but they know that it's a convenience thing for the Ravens. So it's like when you go to like a 7-Eleven, right, Alex, or like a CVS, and you really just want one singular item. You're going to pay more for it in those stores because they know you're coming here for the convenience of it all. So I feel like the Bears would try to work a little bit higher than a fifth-round pick. Again, they paid the Patriots a fifth-round pick to get Bradbury. I'd be thinking that they'd be wanting to get higher than a fifth-round pick in return, which I don't think the Ravens would be willing to do. But Alex, what do you make of this? Do you think that the Ravens should go ahead and get Bradbury as an easy fix for center?
The only thing that stood out to me from what Jeff said, who I respect highly, is the fact that Dwayne Ledford coached him, back at NC State.
Yeah.
Outside of that, you bring up the Pinter stats. It's like, okay, Pinter had the same production with a whole lot less stats. We don't know what a full season Pinter could be. It could be really good. It could also be really bad. But I feel like the Ravens had to know if he were to be available, and Dwayne Ledford was a part of this staff, we would have already been after him. We would have already inquired. And if we didn't inquire, I think we would have heard from, the beat writers and journalists that, the Ravens did their due diligence and asked about his stock. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it really should happen. It's just a weird predicament. It's a guy getting traded twice in the offseason. How often does that happen? You know what I mean? Like, he's already been traded once, and then again without playing a snap for the team he's already been traded to. So that tells me he's really, really bad in training camp or mini camp for what we've seen, or this rookie is really, really, really good. I'm going to go with the really, really bad part. I want to trust Dwayne Ledford. I'm going to. I feel like he knows what he's working with, and he thinks, that can do it. But if we really wanted him, I feel like it would have been done by now. They would have offered up a fifth or a sixth, because we can move off of a fifth and just get it back with a comp pick next year. It's not a third, not a fourth, not a second. So you know what? I'm saying this. I'm good off this. I really am. I just don't think it's worth that pick because then you feel like you have to play him. So he's going to be starting. And what if he's bad? And what if he's bad the first couple of games? Then you got to keep starting because you gave away a pick. And now it's an egg on your face, really, for EDC. And he's already had enough with this line. So I'm going to have to trust Mr. Ledford, and I have no problem doing that, seeing his track record.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree with you wholeheartedly there. I mean, it just would not, the juice isn't worth the squeeze, basically like what you're saying there. Like, it's not going to be much of an upgrade over what is already on the roster. So over a guy like again, Danny Pinter, Javon Gwynn, Corey Bullock, even, Garrett Bradbury would maybe be like a solid plug and play fringe starter kind of guy. I mean, looking at his grades right here, he's not top half of the league by any means, by any stretch or anything like that. So it just wouldn't be worth, like you mentioned, the 5th round or hell, maybe even 4th round pick that the Bears might demand to move off of a Garrett Bradbury, who, like you also mentioned, they just acquired this offseason. Because another reality is if the Bears do let go of Garrett Bradbury, they are relying on Logan Jones as their starting center. Highly touted rookie, but albeit a rookie. And then after that, they've got Jerran Kemp or something like that, a UDFA, an undrafted free agent, who I'm sure they do not want starting anytime soon. So, again, like we mentioned, it just wouldn't be worth it. Would not be worth it right now. And like the man says here in the chat, we think Jeff Z is wrong this time. Respectfully, Jeff Z, we all respect your reporting and things like that. You've been holding it down for years, but I think you're off on this one. Especially not for Garrett Bradbury. Just us.
Yeah, and I feel like we would have brought in another center as well if we didn't like what we had in free agency. We had the money. We signed Jalen Hawkins. We signed Awuzie back. And they weren't, vet minimum deals. I think Awuzie got 1 year, $5 million, and I think Hawkins got 2 year, $10 million. So we had the money to definitely spend on maybe a backup that could be a starter. And this Modius with the 5-piece here says, I'm pretty damn sure my prediction for center is correct. Run with what they got, and if it doesn't work, sign Pochitz. Lose no draft picks and higher PFF grade. And I can see this. I think this is a very Ravens way. I think back to the time when we had our linebackers as Patrick Owasu and Tim Williams, and then we got LJ Fort and Josh Bynes off the street. There was a backup plan there. I mean, the guys that we wanted to trust let us down, and we got guys off the street and played a lot better than what we had. And this could be the same thing with the center. It sucks that we're doing this to one of the most important positions in the team, but this is kind of how EDC has been. I'm not really expecting him to change. He's been kind of cheap sometimes on the line. I don't expect it to change, even though it really should. You've got to not be cheap with your line. Protect your assets. Something we've been saying for how many years?
Yeah, a lot of years, Alex. And thank you so much, Asmodeus, for the $5 super chat donation, making it rain here on this episode 420 of the Purple Rain podcast. Be sure to like the video if you're just getting in here. Subscribe if you are new. We're coming at you with daily Ravens content right here on this channel all year round, even in the dry season. Okay, even in the dry season. So if you're new here, stick around, sub. We got you with the content. But no, I agree with this, Modis. It doesn't make any sense to pony up any draft capital, nor do I think that EDC will feel inclined or enticed at all to give up any of his precious draft capital on a center, especially at this point in the offseason. It makes all the sense in the world to just save a little bit of cap space, right? And when you need one, if there's still an Ethan Pochich or whoever else out there during the season, if your center spot is not looking good, then yeah, go out and sign those guys mid-season. But as of right now, it's too late. It's too late. Okay. But thank you so much, Asmodeus. Thank you so much, brother. Okay. All right. I saw Chris in the chat as well. What's going on, Chris? Chris says, "Evening, Alex. Hello, bait lover." What up? What up? I'll gladly take that moniker. I'll gladly take it on. No problem. No problem. Mind Strength, I see you in the chat. What up? God's favorite. What up, my guy? See you in the chat.
Yo.
Bo Nose, DG. What up? What up? What up? Okay, Alex. So that was the center talk. Okay. I want to get into something that I actually touched on yesterday on Quiet Storm Sports, but I didn't get your take on it. And if you're in the chat right now, we're not going to spend too much time on this, and you didn't watch yesterday's episode, pay attention here. I want to get your take on some of these over-unders for this year's Ravens. We're not going to spend too much time on this again, but I found this pretty interesting. Let's take a look, Alex. So Lamar Jackson, and by the way, this is on Prize Picks. No, they do not sponsor us in any way, shape, or form. Just looking at their lines. Lamar Jackson This is an egregious line right here. Over under 22 and a half
gosh.
passing touchdowns. You talk about free. What do you think about this?
Holy, he had 21 last year, right? And he missed a couple of games.
Yep, missed 4 games.
Yeah, you're taking the over on that. That's pretty free.
Egregious.
You got to take that.
What are they even thinking?
Kind of ladder it. Can we go 23, 25, 28, 30, 35? Like, yeah.
Yeah, if you can ladder that, then I definitely would to boost the odds on it for sure. Other one that I thought was insane. Look at this. Over under 1.5 300+ yard passing games.
We're gonna get in a shootout at least one game. As good as this defense is, think about the offenses we do play, like the Bengals.
Bengals twice, Bills. Come on.
Right. Yeah, there will be a shootout.
Yeah. So easily. I mean, even in the games that aren't necessarily shootouts, right? I could just see Lamar Jackson having a couple of big plays, dominating that game. Maybe the other team battles back a little bit, and then he finishes off. He can get over 300 yards. Like, I mean, that's just something that. And somebody put in the chat yesterday, he's famous for getting 250 yards, 3 touchdowns, that sort of thing. Just being super duper efficient. I agree with that. But at the same time, man, I definitely think that this line is ass. Over 1.5 is easy for me. As Modus with the $2 super chat says, where can I make these bets? Could use a few G's on Prize Picks, brother. Again, no sponsor here, but this is what they're offering. This is what they're offering. Maybe these lines get a little bit more, realistic as the season approaches, but they're definitely on sale right now. They are definitely on sale. I'll tell you that. But yeah, just want to give you that really quick. Also, let's look at Zay Flowers. Let's look at Zay Flowers really quick.
It should be fun.
Want to get your takes on this? Over under 999.5 receiving yards. Will Zay get 1,000 yards receiving? Yes or no?
I have no reason to believe he wouldn't. I take the over. He went back to back. That was with Cooper Rush and Tyler Huntley at quarterback for multiple games. I'm taking the over on this.
And I think I said the over yesterday when I talked about this. I'm going to take the over on Zay Flowers' receiving yards. I'm going to take the under on his rushing yards, though.
Yes.
Yeah, under 54.5 rushing yards for Zay Flowers. I doubt
I don't see him being used that much in the run game. Oh, this is interesting. 5.5 receiving touchdowns. I want to believe over. I do. I want to believe over.
I want to as well.
I want to believe over, and I'm going to. I think Declan Doyle will get him more touchdowns than Todd Monken did. I think he'll use them correctly. So, yeah, I will go over. It could very well be 6. Still over.
You're right about that. This is a great line right here. But I'm going to go under. I think he gets 5 again. I think he gets 5 touchdowns through the air. Again, just not a big receiving threat. I think there's just so many other threats in the red zone. I said not a big receiving threat. He's a huge receiving threat. He's just not a big red zone threat. And there's so many other guys now that are even newer guys like Lane and Surratt. Those are 2 big red zone targets on top of what you already had in Mark Andrews and Rashad Bateman. Yeah, you're losing likely, but again, Lane and Surratt being there, I think will kind of fill in for that big body red zone target type of role. So yeah, I'm gonna go with 5. I got to go with the under 5.5 receiving touchdowns for Zay. Hopefully he gets more. Hope I'm wrong on that one. And then lastly, rushing touchdowns over 1/2.
Yeah, I'm going to go under. I think he had 1 last year against the Patriots, but yeah, I'm going to go under on that.
I'm also taking the under on his rushing touchdowns. All right, Rashad Bateman. Bateman only has 1 line out right now, and it's receiving yards. Over or under 449.5 receiving yards for Rashad Bateman.
Over. I'm taking the over on that.
I'm taking the over on that.
Taking the over.
Gots to.
That's low-key, not disrespectful, but he had, 200 and some in a very bad year last year.
Yeah.
Not even, that was horrific.
Bad offensive line.
Want to believe,
yeah.
I want to believe 450 is obtainable.
I think so, too. I'm going to take Bateman to get over 449.5 yards, and I'll still take Zay Flowers to get his 1,000. Touchdowns might look a little bit different. They don't have Rashad Bateman's touchdown line here, but I would probably take the over on that too. Just saying. Last one. Kyle Hamilton. Now, this one I also found egregious. Or like a sleeper.
Gosh.
Over under 1.75 sacks on the season.
I got to bet on this. Are you kidding me?
Got to. I'm not kidding. It's right here. Public information.
Can we? We got to keep this quiet. Nobody can know about this one. Nobody can know about this.
Right. For sure. For sure. It's crazy though. And then his interceptions lines that over, you can only pick over 1.5 interceptions on the season, which I also think he can get that. Just saying, I feel like there's going to be times where he is mugged up on the defensive line and then he drops back out into coverage and, quarterback, especially one of these younger quarterbacks. We're playing a lot of young quarterbacks in the first 7 weeks. They're going to make some mistakes. I feel like Kyle Hamilton capitalizes. So he could easily hit these lines in the first 2 months of the season. So again, that's how free these lines are looking right now for the Ravens. Vegas, you better count your days. Count your days. Watch out, because we're coming. All right.
Crazy. 1.75.
I know. It's wild. It's wild. My guy Coach is in the building. What's going on, Coach? At Sip2 Tally Films. What up? I think he just got off the live stream. He was just on live. I was in his live right before this one. Shout out to my guy Coach. Make sure y'all go subscribe. Okay. Like I said, didn't want to spend too much time on that. I just had to show you that, Alex, because I know, we parlay sometimes. No pun intended. Yeah, and I mean that's gonna be crazy. I mean, I can't wait for the Purple Rain parlay segment this week. It's never gonna get as free as that, though. It'll never get as free as that. Crazy. That is wild.
Crazy. Unless they know something, but I want to believe we know a little bit more than them.
Yeah.
Kyle Hamilton sack.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Let's go ahead and move right along here. So the next thing I wanted to go ahead and chat about, this is some news that came out earlier today. It's about the good old Terrion Arnold. Mr. Terrion Arnold, who was recently released from the Lions. This tweet here, reported from Arya Myrov, says, former Lions cornerback Terrion Arnold's attorney wrote in a court filing that 3 NFL teams have already contacted Arnold since he was waived and that he expects to join a team within 30 days. The statement was made in response to prosecutors seeking to require Arnold to wear an ankle monitor while on home confinement, arguing that his release from an NFL team means he no longer has football-related obligations. So, he's already been contacted by 3 teams, Alex. And what I was thinking is that with how much Jesse Minter likes to put a whole bunch of DBs on the field, right? Lots of dime coverage, things like that. Is it possible that we may see Terrion Arnold pursued by the Ravens? Real quick, we got a super chat donation before you do that. Chris dropping the 5-piece in the chat. Thank you so much, my good sis Chris. She says, close your eyes, Sutton. Alex, what's the line on Bateman getting traded? Eyes closed, ears open.
What is the line? I'm going to go plus 225. It's not the worst odds. If things aren't going right the first half of the season, then I can see it. That's the only way. But it's hard to trade a receiver, I feel like, mid-season. But if he's not putting it up, there will be a team it could be a team that maybe is going to be in a rebuilding phase that could use a veteran like him, low risk. I could see it. I don't think it happens, though.
I don't think it happens either, Chris. And, it's just the only way that could happen is if Jacoby Lane or Elijah Surratt, or both, if they pop off early. Mm-hmm. And I'm talking like in preseason, one of them and or both of them is lighting it up. And then it carries on in the regular season, and one of them is the next Emeka Ibuka. If that happens, then maybe, they'll move off of Bateman, especially if Bateman kind of increases his stock a little bit, maybe scores a touchdown or two here or there. They can say, hey, look, take Rashad Bateman for a 3rd rounder, or maybe a 4th or something like that. We'll see. But no, I don't think he's going to get traded because I think he's going to dominate this season, Chris. So stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Dominate.
Because I'm going to need that hashtag I'm sorry Sutton when it all goes down. And don't worry, I'm drafting up my Bateman apology form that you guys will all have to fill out when the time comes. Okay? Just letting you know. Just letting you know. Okay. Here we go. So, back to this Terrion Arnold situation. Do you think that the Ravens should pursue Terrion Arnold at all?
No, I don't. I don't think, once again, the juice is not worth the squeeze. Even last year, he didn't have the best of years. He was out there trash talking DeAndre Hopkins. at his old age. Obviously talented, but I don't think Jesse Minter wants to get his Ravens regime started off getting a guy who is a mob boss, basically, who orchestrated a kidnapping.
Yeah.
And had people hold others at gunpoint, or I don't know if I can say that at point. I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think it should happen. Now the 3 teams are in for him. Good on them. Low risk, high reward, but he definitely will be getting suspended a couple of games too.
Yeah. Well, you think he will get suspended a few games?
Yeah, I do.
I haven't heard anything about the NFL's personal conduct policy or anything like that getting involved. It's been all like legal stuff so far.
Did Earl Thomas get suspended? Well, we cut him already. We cut him before that all happened because he got caught with the one girl, got held at gunpoint by his wife, and the whole punching thing.
Yeah. Voice said in the chat, "Terrorist Arnold." is crazy. That's wild. But no, I think what the NFL is probably waiting for, Alex, is like the official ruling from the courts, and after they'll kind of move accordingly after they see what the government decides to do, the judicial branch decides to do with Terrion Arnold, or Terrorist Arnold, like Voight says here in the chat.
Freaking insane.
It's wild, but it's like the Ravens. It would be. I saw somebody say this in the chat as well. It would be a very nice luxury, especially considering again how much dime Jesse Minter likes to deploy and things like that. Just having like an extra weapon like Terrion Arnold, who's a former high draft pick. He was a first rounder, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, former first rounder. Kind of struggled recently though. Last year was not one of his better years at all. Some might even say kind of falling off a little bit. So I just don't think, again, much like with Garrett Bradbury, juice would not be worth the squeeze. Different squeeze, I mean, different reasons, right? Because with Terrion Arnold, you also get kind of like that locker room distraction. Like we don't need that type of energy in the locker room right now, especially as we're building up vibes like these. You know what I mean?
Right, and like I said, I just don't think it's the smart move for a first-time head coach. You already have, a lot to deal with. Now you have the outside noise, the drama, and I know we'll get into some stuff that happened that it's not our Ravens players' fault, but think about last year's offseason. We were kind of the joke with the whole Justin Tucker stuff.
Yeah.
I don't want to go through that again. You don't want to go through the cameras at the facility, the news, the bombshells. I'm good off that. So we can move on to possibly somebody else.
Yeah, I agree. It's a no when it comes to Terrion Arnold. It's a no from me, dog. Yeah, for sure. Shout out to Randy Jackson, the famous. Okay, let's move on here.
Yes.
Outside of Terrion Arnold, also had our guy Pub. Pub has actually been in the lab recently. Aeneas Peebles. Let's take a look at this. I mean, look at this guy. Look at this guy's get off. I mean, just look at him. I mean, it looks like he's looking at a second-year breakout. I'm just saying, Alex. Take a look. Look at this. He's so quick off the line. That's what I love about Aeneas Peebles so much. Like
Goodness
pass,
gracious.
exactly, bro. Like pass rush wise.
Whoever he was with, he beat him by
Oh yeah, destroyed him. I don't know exactly who that was, but he looks like he is moving all types of different, and it gives me a lot of excitement for what this D line could look like in the depth of it. You know what I mean? Like Aeneas Peebles, I would assume, is probably going to be more of like a second half, probably at that 3-tech cleanup guy when it comes to maybe the Ravens are up 10, maybe 17 points, a couple possessions. You're going to put Aeneas Peebles in after Travis Jones and Nnamdi Madubuike have been wrecking havoc all day, and Aeneas Peebles is going to be getting after the passer. And again, lots of young quarterbacks who like to hold on to the ball. I think that this is a very good opportunity for Aeneas Peebles this season to really prove his worth.
So you're thinking in the obvious passing downs, passing situations.
Yeah.
Throw him in there. Okay,
Right.
Second half. I'm right there with you. I think you still have Broderick Washington as well ahead of him. It just depends on the situation. But I feel like we were deprived of some Aeneas Peebles last year. Obviously, we weren't expecting him to play 50, 60% of snaps, but give the brother like 20%. There were games that like he could have came in there. There were games where we're getting blown out. Rams game we're down 17-3. Texans game we're getting blown out, but he was sitting there rotting on the inactives. That I think is pure time that you cannot really replicate. Is game time, throw a young guy out there, see what he can give you. So to me, once again, this is like his rookie year because he really didn't play last year. He got preseason and training camp, and played all of I want to say less than 100 snaps. Definitely less than 100. How many snaps did he play last? Let me pull it up real quick. I'm sorry, because I am
go ahead,
interested
for
to
sure.
see how much he played.
For sure.
So he played all of 6 games last year. He was active for
Yeah.
6 freaking games.
Yeah, he needs
33
more.
snaps. I'm sorry. 71 defensive snaps. 71. He played 22 against the Browns, in which we were up 41-17. And then he played 10 against the Texans, in which we were getting blown out. 9 against the Chiefs, we got blown out. And after that Texans game, he played 4 against the Bengals, we were getting blown out.
Yeah. For me, Alex, and I want to get your take on this, and the chat's take as well. Aeneas Peebles is probably in my top 5 Ravens I'm most excited to see in the preseason.
Mm-hmm. Has to be.
You know, I'd probably go Aeneas Peebles. I'd go Lane and Surratt, right? That's 3 right there. I'd probably go, honestly, I'd go Rayshon Benny. I do really want to see, because again, you can never be too good in the trenches, especially on defense, right? You can never be too good. If we get a steal out of Rayshon Benny out of Michigan, I believe 6th or 7th round selection for the Ravens. Can't remember, but that would be great. And then at 5, I'd pick Aeneas Peebles. What about you?
Definitely. I want a bunch of receivers together, but yes, Lane and Surratt easily.
Yeah.
Peebles. Do we think Mr. Venga starts a preseason game?
Yes, he will. I actually talked to Coach
Okay.
about that last week, and he made a good point.
Okay.
You know, he was like, he's a rookie. He's got to get some sort of, like, the first time you see Venga Ioane is not going to be week 1 starting against the Colts in
Yeah.
Indianapolis, right? So
Even if it's for like a series, I just want to see just him maul somebody and just get me excited. So I'm gonna leave him off there because he won't be playing the full games. I'm throwing Adam Randall on there. I want to see what this kid's about, and then I'm probably gonna throw Peebles on there as well because we were really deprived last year. And then honorable mentions, I think Keandre Jackson as well.
yeah, that's a good
See
one.
him more on the defensive side of the ball, and not just in special teams. What can you give me? Because we've heard about him in training camp, minicamp, what
Right.
he was doing. Another honorable mention, tight ends. But yeah, Peebles for me is top 5 because we can play some sort of role in this defense and produce.
Yeah, and you know what? I might have to make a switch, Alex. I'm gonna take Lane out, right?
Okay.
Because I feel like Lane will have the higher upside. It might take him a little bit longer to develop. I'm gonna have to give him grace. I already know that. And I'll insert Matthew Hibner or Cuevas. Take your pick, right? But one of the tight ends, with just how much Lamar Jackson loves to, again, target his tight ends, one of those guys, if not both, is going to have to step up, right? You're going to have to get a replacement for Isaiah Likely. So I need one of those guys to prove early on and often that they can be that reliable weapon for him, for sure. Okay. Let me see what you guys say in the chat here. I think I saw one from Void. Void says Adam Randall, Tez Walker, Zion Young, Bilal Kone, and TJ Tampa are in his top 5. That's not a bad list. I mean, Tez, I'm not as worried about seeing Tez. I saw Tez last year. I know what he can do. I know what Tez is capable of. Adam Randall should be at a lot of our, like, number 1 on a lot of our lists. He definitely got, that's like a generational snub. I didn't think about him. I might have to move somebody off to put him in, because if Adam Randall shows that he has that juice, so to say, right, and like he's really, like, making himself look good and making a name for himself in preseason and also training camp and stuff like that, then. And here's another question I want to ask you. Let's just say, hypothetically speaking, and this is for the entire chat, replay gang, all of you guys. Let's just say Adam Randall is dominating in training camp once the pads come on. Let's just say he dominated in the joint practices. Let's just say preseason, he's going crazy because he's going to get a lot of opportunities in the preseason. And so going into the regular season, you have this kind of nest egg of a running back talent here who's probably going to be next up and take over for Derrick Henry. If you were Declan Doyle or Jesse Minter, Alex, would you load manage Derrick Henry so that you could have him ready to rock and roll by December and January? Because you have an Adam Randall who you can kind of share the workhorse responsibilities with Derrick. I'm not saying, like, let's just split it down the middle 50-50, Henry and Adam Randall. But I'm saying, like, maybe you do dial back the carries a little bit. I mean, he had 325 carries in 2024, Derrick Henry, that is. He had 305 last season in 2025. What do you think about that? Should they load manage Derrick Henry if Adam Randall were to pop off?
I think you can cut a couple carries, maybe 3 or 4, to your point, having him ready for the back half of the season, the December, the cold games when you don't want Derrick Henry running down you full speed. I can get that, but I don't think all the way you would cut it. I think more so, I mean, I don't want to put too high of expectations on him. First off is him winning the RB3 role over Rasheen Ali, which I think right now he has a slight edge because you are draft capital. You already have the approval of the owner, as crazy as it sounds to say, but the owner did draft him.
And he's more of a playmaker, and he's bigger.
I think you would see Derrick Henry a lot less in a blowout. Let's say we're up 3 touchdowns. Yeah, he's not coming in. It's going to be Randall, Hill, and Ali if he makes the roster. But I do like the point, though, of saving Derrick Henry because you don't want to get this guy banged up. I know he's a year older. I know his crazy training regime, his diet's unreal. But at the same time, Father Time does not care. And I don't want to believe it's a real thing with Derrick Henry because he has not slowed down yet, even last year, for behind that line. But it wouldn't hurt to give the young man, or not even the old man, give him just some plays off. But not a lot, though. I can see it.
I say give him some plays off and give Lamar some plays on. I say let's get Lamar Jackson a little bit more involved in the run game. I do understand that Declan Doyle said that he thinks that Lamar Jackson could run less, but at the end of the day, what makes Lamar Jackson is his rushing ability. And if Lamar Jackson is up to it and he's healthy, then, hey, I say put the ball in the man's hands and don't run Derrick Henry into the dirt. That's just me. I'm not saying, again, like, don't use Derrick Henry as your jab, like as what you set up your hook with. But I'm just saying, like, there are other options on the team. And that's why I said, hypothetically speaking, if Adam Randall were to break out, I think that would be a nice little kind of supplementary piece in the rushing attack. So that's all I was saying. But I agree with you. I do think that Derrick Henry needs to be the engine of this offense. I just don't want to see us run him into the ground because we're really, really going to need him in December and January, right? Like you mentioned, the months where teams don't want to tackle Derrick Henry, we need him to be as fresh as possible, as fresh as a daisy, which we know won't happen. It's football, for crying out loud, but as fresh as humanly possible by the time those cold weather months come around.
And let's just back up our stats real quick. Just real quick. December games last year, Derrick Henry, 25 carries, 94 yards, 11 carries, 100 yards, 18 carries, 128, 2 touchdowns, 36 carries, 216, 4 touchdowns, 20 carries, 126. That is what we're holding our star running back out for. 100-plus games, a couple touchdowns. That's what you have on your hands.
Yeah. Okay. Alex, let's go ahead and move on here. So this one is not Ravens related, but it is football related, though. You have a hot take, a scorching hot take that may not have hit your airwaves, you listening to this right now, if you're a diehard Ravens fan, because, again, it's not about Ravens. It's actually about the Chicago Bears and their quarterback, Caleb Williams, who we ranked last week right here on the show as an A-tier quarterback in the NFL. And this is Mark Schlereth, podcaster, NFL analyst, whatever, talking about why he does not think Caleb Williams is even a good quarterback. Let's take a listen.
You just flat out, and I'm going to quote you. You said Caleb Williams isn't a good quarterback.
Right.
And I went, excuse me? So why don't you?
Yeah, well, Caleb Williams.
How do you defend saying Caleb Williams is not a good quarterback?
Caleb Williams is not a good quarterback. He's a dynamic athlete. He makes big-time plays. But is he a good quarterback? No, he's not a good quarterback. Because he doesn't play on schedule. Like, I mean, my evaluation is watch how many times they get into a late in the third quarter or fourth quarter and they're down 21-7. Right? And then he holds the ball, he scrambles around, he makes 3 big throws, and all of a sudden they win a game 21-24. Like that, that's not playing quarterback at an efficient level. That's being a dynamic playmaker. So at this particular point in time, Caleb Williams isn't a good quarterback. If you were ranking that class, you'd put Jaden Daniels ahead of him. You put Drake May ahead of him. I put Bo Nix ahead of him. This generational talent who's
like
supposed
Bo
to be
Nix.
a great quarterback. He's not a great quarterback. He's a great playmaker. And when it comes to off-schedule football, the guy is probably about as good as it gets. He is Kyler Murray with more height.
Ooh, Mark Schlereth right there, man. Just letting it go, letting the chopper sing on Mr. Caleb Williams, the Iceman. Man, what do you think, man? Your thoughts?
Listen, I respect Schlereth. He obviously knows a lot more ball than me. A lot more. I gotta push back on this. You just said they're down 21-7, and he's gonna come back and win you a game. I'm supposed to be upset with the way he plays. My quarterback just brought me down from 2 possessions and won me a game. Mr. Schlereth, 27 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. 90.1 passer rating last year. Tack on 3 rushing touchdowns as well. Not a good quarterback. Kyler Murray with height. Caleb Williams did in 2 years what Kyler Murray still hasn't done yet. Win a playoff game. Through all the different offenses, all the different targets. Kyler Murray with height. I just can't get behind that. This is some Hayden ass stuff. I don't know what Caleb Williams did to him, but to put him not even good? Did we not watch the same thing at, like, for me, the business end of the year last year for the Bears is when I saw Caleb Williams step up. I saw big plays. I saw him drive down the field, the playoff game coming back. I don't know what else. I mean, can he improve on things? Of course he can. Every quarterback can. The guy's in year 2, or he was in year 2. Come on now. That just, and act like there's no improvement. It's given, and listen, I'm not comparing to, it's given Lamar Jackson type of criticism. You just don't want to say you were wrong about him. Oh, he makes a couple of flashy things and that, and he wins me the game. Oh, heaven forbid he comes back and wins you a game. The whole thing about the NFL was winning games. No matter how you do it, win games. At the end of the day, Super Bowls are still trophies no matter how you do it. Whether it's 100-0 or 2-0. You still win, you win the Lombardi. I can't get behind this, Mr. Schlereth. No, thank you.
I can't either. And, this, honestly, Mark Schlereth making this take after, because Caleb Williams, he's been in the league for what, 2 or 3 seasons now?
Going into his third.
Going into his third. Okay, I got you. This would have been like saying Joe Burrow isn't a good quarterback after his first 2 seasons. And the reason why I say that, Alex, is because I went ahead and looked up the stats. And in the first 2 seasons, both of Joe Burrow's and Caleb Williams' first 26 games played in their career, Joe Burrow had a 65.7 completion percentage. Caleb Williams had a 60% completion percentage. Not all that crazy different. In the first 26 games of Joe Burrow's career, he had 5,681 passing yards. In the first 26 of Caleb Williams' career, he had 7,483 passing yards. Passing touchdowns. Joe Burrow had 35 in his first 26 games. Caleb Williams had 47. Interceptions thrown in their first 2 seasons. Joe Burrow 17, Caleb Williams 19. Okay. Passer rating 98.7 for Joe Burrow, 90.9 for Caleb Williams. So the numbers aren't too far off, right? And it's such like a short-sighted take to say that Caleb Williams, because he doesn't play as on schedule as you would like him to do, that he's not even a good quarterback. All he does is make plays when, I'm sorry, the name of the position, quarterback, it's like point guard in basketball. It's like whatever it is in soccer that Christian Pulisic is right now for the team, for a USA team, right? Making your team better, right? I mean, oh my gosh. You're the point guard. That's what you do. You play make. You make plays. I just don't get it, because for every quarterback that you have, like a Caleb Williams, you have hundreds. I'm talking about NFL guys who have been in the NFL, who can never replicate what Caleb Williams does, but they can hit their 3-step drop and get the ball out on time in about sub 2 seconds. But they're still not. That doesn't make them good, though. I can hit my back foot and get the ball out. That doesn't make me a good quarterback. I can play within a structure. That doesn't actually make me a good quarterback. You know, it's like when people say, just because, like, you ever had somebody who like thinks they're smart because like they know a lot about a lot, you know, they read a lot of books or something like that. But like,
Yeah.
when you actually have a conversation with them, they're dumb as rocks. They have no nuance. You know what I mean? Like that sort of thing. Like, just because you play within the structure or you do things within the structure does not make you better than the next guy, right? Caleb Williams has a lot of talent that he's still developing and honing into being a professional quarterback. And normally guys who have a ton of talent, they take way longer to develop than Caleb Williams did. They don't pop off like Caleb Williams did in his second year. Trevor Lawrence. Is Trevor Lawrence a good quarterback, Mark Schlereth? Hell, is Josh Allen, who gave the ball away 4 times in a playoff loss that did not include Mahomes, Lamar, Burrow, or any of the other 4 horsemen of the AFC. Is he a bad quarterback? Like, I don't know, Alex. It's wild.
Well, it's funny bringing him up. Ravens fans, close your ears. I was about to use Josh Allen as a great example as the first 2 year stuff. In Josh Allen's first 2 years, 30 touchdowns in 27 games because he came in, you know, midway through the first year in 2018. 21 interceptions. 30 touchdowns, 21 picks. You could have easily written him off as a bust, as the next Matt Schaub for all the picks. But you didn't. Listen, MVP, I know how we feel about that, but at the end of the day, a damn good quarterback. I think we have him in our top 3 quarterbacks. After 2 years, look at Lamar. Look what we saw firsthand in 2020, that offseason. Oh, he'll never do it again. He'll never replicate it. You know, that's a one-off season. The NFL figured him out. Blah, 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 blah. It's old man yelling at cloud. Why are you hating on these young guys? And honestly, it's going to come back to probably the nail painting. He probably doesn't like it and how he conducts himself. There's definitely that I feel like is a deeper rooted issue is what he doesn't like, and now he's just kind of using this as a cop out. To say he's not good is just lying. You're just lying to yourself right now. Because there's a lot of on-time quarterbacks, i.e. Jared Goff. That's my guy. You knock him out of his rhythm, you're going to beat the Lions.
Right.
It's been shown.
It's like, ask Mark Schlereth, like, would you rather start a franchise today with Jared Goff or Caleb Williams? If you say Jared Goff, I just feel like you're lying and being disingenuous.
Flip Jared Goff and Caleb Williams. Penei Sewell, J-Mo, Amon-Ra St. Brown.
You're right. Might be on to something
Laporta.
there. Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, like Loveland a lot. I'm a huge Loveland fan, but like Rome, like Luther Burden, they obviously have sky-high potentials, but right now you flip them. Who do you think gets more wins, Lions or Bears? I'm going.
I think the Lions for sure.
Yeah.
For sure,
So
the Lions.
The on-time stuff is just that's lazy.
It's such a cop out,
better.
man. I hate it. Do better, Mark Schlereth. And I just couldn't help when I was listening to that. I couldn't help like thinking that he was also talking about Lamar. Like I was just waiting for him to bring up Lamar Jackson's name, which is why I was surprised he brought up Kyler Murray at the end, because I wouldn't really compare Kyler Murray to Caleb Williams.
No.
I feel like that's kind of an off comparison. Two different style of quarterbacks. But when he was saying like all the off schedule stuff he's good at, but he'll make 3 big plays, but does that make him a good quarterback? I thought he was going to go to Lamar with that, because like that's kind of been the narrative around Lamar Jackson too. Like all he does is make big plays, but you know, in structure, he can't do things. He's not efficient. He also used the word efficiency in there. It's like, and that maybe that's why he didn't bring up Lamar, because Lamar is one of the most efficient quarterbacks of all time. So full stop there, right?
He knew better.
He knew better. Anyway, let's go ahead and move on here. Alex, we got a couple more things to get into before we wrap up this episode of the show. I talked about this yesterday. Didn't get to, have you cover it, but Calais Campbell had some terrible news come out yesterday. Calais Campbell's mother was found dead and his brother was charged with the murder. I gave my condolences yesterday, for him, his family, things like that. But Alex, what do you got to say?
Likewise, it's an awful situation. I'm upset TMZ released the 911 audio. I don't know what that does
I
for
saw
anybody.
that. Yeah.
I don't know what you releasing that does. It's his brother calling, not the one I think who is charged, it was another one who he couldn't get into the house because I think they said like his one brother who is now charged drove the car and he's not supposed to, and
Yeah.
they couldn't reach their mother. With that being said, life obviously isn't fair. Look at a guy like Calais Campbell. Has a very good career.
Yeah.
Never heard one bad word about him. Multiple time Walter Payton Man of the Year. Sets a fantastic example for the youth. Encourages the youth. Gives back to wherever he plays. Jacksonville, Miami, Arizona, Baltimore, as we know. It's just not fair. And that's life. And I'm sorry to the Campbell family and Calais. Prayers to him. I can't imagine what he's going through right now because you just lost a brother and a mother at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much. And, apparently his brother was diagnosed with schizophrenia. And, it's just an awful situation because I mentioned yesterday, like, you're probably going to have the family kind of feeling that guilt and things like that for, having mom in the house with her schizophrenic son. And, but sometimes, like you mentioned, like, bad things happen to good people. And it's like nothing that I feel like they could have done would have like saved the situation. I mean, I don't know. I just don't want them to blame themselves, but I can see how they would naturally feel that way. As it goes for Calais Campbell himself, take as much time as you need. I know training camp is starting up soon here, but listen, man, you are the oak tree. You're the seasoned vet. Like, you don't, I mean, I'm not mad if Calais Campbell doesn't show up until we get to Indianapolis week 1. I would not mind, right? He's earned that. But definitely take as much time as he needs, and praying for his family, man. Calling God for you guys. Calling God for y'all.
Yeah, and I know, especially as he's been in the Weaver defense. So I'm hoping, he already knows that, and just take as much time. Don't rush yourself back. And he may want to come back because he may need that kind of schedule. Getting up, going to work, and getting it done, because you sit around in empty thoughts. Like you said, you don't want to start blaming yourself, but it's very easy to do.
Yeah.
Very easy. The what ifs.
It is. I see some people in the chat saying mom's going to be there for her worst kid always. Afia says she wasn't leaving her child alone, so I don't think that they will have regret or should, especially if this has been known amongst the family for a long time. Yeah, I could see that too. Mom was in her 70s though. Mom was in her 70s. It's like, I know that was tough on her for a while as well. Because I think there was like a call back in April. They said that he was trying to burn the house down just to get rid of like the noises of the demons. That's what he said. So like this had been a problem for a minute. But prayers up to, all involved. It's so, man, it's so crazy. It is so crazy. And again, Calais, take as much time.
Yeah.
All right, Alex, we got to move on here. Last topic of the show. You know what we got to talk about, man. Team USA World Cup happened last night. Team USA got the dub. They got the dub over Bosnia. It was a convincing dub as well. However, there was a massively controversial moment in this game. And here it is right here. You had the Ravens. Team USA, U.S. men's national team, their best player in this World Cup, Flo Balogun. He was ejected from last night's game and then also suspended for the next game in the round of 16 for this foul right here that he commits on number 4, the defender. Both going for the ball. I'm going to play this back and forth in slow motion. Both going for the football here. And in a sport where people's legs get tied up and stuff like that, this just kind of naturally happens. He kind of mistimes his kick, trying to kick the ball between number 4's legs here, and lands on the ankle of number 4. And that freeze frame right there is what got him ejected, red carded. Mind you, Alex, because I want to give you the floor on this. I know you have a take. Mind you, they did not even call this a yellow on the field. They called it nothing on the field in real time, but they went back and looked at it and went from no card to a red card. And now Balogun, after an accident, because this was clearly incidental, he got ejected from the last night's game. and he's going to miss the round of 16 against Belgium. Alex, what were your thoughts when this happened? You agree, disagree? Let me know.
I'm going to go down some roads. You just got to just listen to me and hear me out.
Okay.
In the moment, through my phone, said check the referee's FanDuel, his bank account. I still stand by that. The point of VAR is to not slow down the frame by frame by frame, to make it look even worse. Now, a red card is, violent conduct. And yes, this is 100% violent conduct. I'm not mad at the red. What I am mad about is the lack of inconsistency. The reason why USA fans have every right to be upset, we've seen fouls similar to this not be carded. And if so, yellow. This is not on purpose. And I got some stick back from this. But of course, like I said, people hating on USA just hate on him. Cool. He's not looking at his ankle and going to stomp it.
Right.
But it is violent. But VAR is not meant to go slow down, because even in football, it's going to make it look worse. In real time, the ref, with his own 2 eyes, saw this happen. He saw it. And he chose not to card him. But it's the people up there, up in the VAR, tell him to look at it. And I saw, you got to give me a second. I saw this referee has been in a controversial decision already in his career, not too long ago. And I need to get my facts right, because I don't want to sit here and...
Well, real quick, while you do that, I disagree with you when you say that this is violent conduct, because to me, violent conduct has to include intent. You have to, it has to be on purpose. Oh, I'm looking at your ankle and then I'm going to purposely see it through to step on your ankle, or I'm trying to push you over. I'm going to purposely put my hands on you, throw you. That's violent conduct to me. Going for the ball and happening to step on his ankle and again, bang, bang in real time. And then they go back and slow it down. They're like, you know what? And they're not supposed to do that. They say, you know what? No, we're not going to trust the judgment of the refs on the field who are there and you're watching the living, breathing game. We're going to go back and freeze frame it and really, really see. It kind of reminds me of Isaiah Likely, the catch against the Steelers, right? Where in real time, catch, touchdown, easy. But then you go back, you start to nitpick. Okay, you got the 1 foot, then you got the 2 foot, and then, but he didn't do a football. It's like the technicalities and stuff. We can see the game with our own 2 eyes. This should not have been a red card. And furthermore, and this is why, rules aside, if the rules are the rules, and that's a red card, sure. But ejected for the rest of that game and the next for an accident is crazy to me.
When you go studs up, usually it's always a red card. Whether it's accidental, whether it's on purpose. Straight red, to me, is just very harsh. And like I said, through the technicalities, I get it. But it felt like the higher-ups were making their mark on this game. Because there were incidents where we should have, I thought, had a pen. There's incidents where we were getting fouled. Hell, Malik Tillman's foot is all bloodied up. There's a picture of his foot, just his sock covered in blood from being stomped. No fouls given whatsoever. I have it right here. Rafael Klaus, yesterday, he was accused in 2023 of match fixing by irregular red cards in Brazil in 2023. He had to testify but evaded charges because of no direct evidence. It's fishy.
This was the same ref?
Yes. In 23, he got, brought up for some match fixing going on. And he's allowed to referee in the FIFA World Cup, the granddaddy of them all. It leaves us in a sticky situation without Balogun next match. And I've been watching Balogun since he was in his youngster years because he was at Arsenal. I watched him. No ill intent, like I said. It feels like something else. It feels like somebody upstairs, we can give a red card. We can give a red card because, he went studs up. But Messi did it, nothing. The Lord and Savior, Messi, nothing happened. There's been multiple screenshots floating around of the studs inside of an ankle, and there's no card whatsoever.
Alex, it was almost like, because you're making a good point here. I like what you're saying. I like where you're going. It's almost like FIFA wanted to humble America, right? Because I don't even think that we were supposed to be this good. Obviously, we've shocked a lot of people, and it's almost as if they said, okay, y'all need to sit down. Y'all need to chill. This is not America. You guys are arrogant about so many things. Soccer is our thing. Okay, we're gonna humble you right here, right now. Show you that no, you're not. You don't get your way. You know, America doesn't always get its way. Sit down. You're not as important as Messi. That's why we didn't call it for him. You're not as important as Mbappe, Haaland, Vinny, any of these other guys. Not to say that they've all committed fouls much like this, but the Messi thing, just in general, you can just look at that. And I saw you posted it last night. Same thing. Step right on the guy on the back of his leg. It went studs up, I think you said, right? Only for like maybe a split second, but like same thing happened. They called nothing. So there's no consistency. That's my problem. And it seems like they were trying to humble America.
And that's the problem with this sport. You lack consistency with these referees. The referees will always have the referees' backs. Do not forget that. You will see it again this tournament. If a referee makes a decision, it's very, very rare they will change that decision because they don't want that referee to look like he's doing his job bad. It's just being stubborn, honestly, with these referees. These referees are stubborn as hell. They don't want to change their minds. And with this, once it's a red, you aren't going to really change their mind. I know they went to the VAR. They must have saw something. But to me, it's just they're looking for it. And when you slow it down, it will always make it look worse. Now, moving on to your point about, humbling the USA. We aren't supposed to be here. We weren't supposed to win our group. We weren't supposed to beat Paraguay 4-1. Not supposed to beat Australia 2-0. We weren't supposed to rest our starters against Turkey, who were the dark horses, the favorites of our group. Where the fuck are they right now, pardon my language? At home. Bosnia. Sayonara. Here at home. And what's great is next up we play Belgium, the same team who knocked us out in 2014. We can beat them. Right now, and this is not me speaking in the moment, there's one team I don't like our chances against, and that's France. Any other team right now, bring them on. Take it one game at a time. We can beat Belgium. They are an older team. They are nowhere near as fast as we are. They can't hang with us for a full 90 minutes. Play the same games, no stupid mistakes. 2-1 USA on Monday. Like we can beat Belgium. We got this whole European team monkey off of our back. We beat Bosnia. And look at it. We beat Paraguay 4-1 and they beat Germany. It's the beauty of the World Cup. Anything can happen. Hell, I'm riding behind this team. We have Haji Wright or Ricardo Pepe who can start at the 9, but still have Christian Pulisic, still have Malik Tillman, still have Chris Richards, Jorginho Dest, Anthony Robinson, Weston McKennie, and Tyler Adams.
Yeah.
I'm rocking with this team. I have no reason to not believe in this team. We'll be fine. We'll win. We'll see you back, Flo Balogun, for the quarterfinals.
Yeah, quarterfinal. I mean, listen, man. If they make, because that would be the round of 8, right?
Yes.
Elite 8. I mean, that's some good company right there. I mean, it's interesting that you say that you like our chances against pretty much everybody but France. Yeah, France is like, they are moving different right now. Mm-hmm. It's like I learn about a new player on their team every time I watch a game. First, of course, Mbappe, already knew about him. Then it was Dembele, and then what's the other dude's name with the
Michael Olise?
With the hair? Yeah, him. Yeah, he had like a crazy bicycle kick attempt, I want to say.
He had, I believe, 24 goals and 28 assists.
Yeah,
last season. He's genuinely insane. And the fact their bench is starting on a lot of countries. It's like not even like a fringe. They're starting. So that's how good France are. Spain today, they won 3-0 against Austria, but it was a tough win. It was tough for them to get by Austria.
Wait a minute. There's one more dude on France who I really enjoy watching. He's also got hair, black guy. Barcola, right?
Bradley Barcola. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, young guy. He's fast as hell, just lacks the finishing. But if he can get that finishing trait, he'll be one of the best wingers in the world. But yeah, France are a super team. Like I'm thinking right now, if you took the club teams and played France, I'm not sure any club team could beat them. Like PSG are damn near have the whole French team on there.
Yeah.
They're the champions of Europe. Like that's how good France are. It's kind of like USA when it comes to basketball. Like that's how good they are.
That makes sense. You
just put them all together. That's the best comparison I can give.
Yeah. Until Spain gives them a run for their money, like they gave Team USA that one year or those couple years. But yeah, I'm very happy that the U.S. men's national team is advancing to the round of 16. Pissed off that we don't get to see Flo Balogun play in that game, but this is where Christian Pulisic, I need to see something, right? I can't just have you dishing it out to I need to see some finishing from him. Who's the guy coming in for Balogun? Pepe?
It'll be Ricardo Pepe or Haji Wright. Probably going to be Pepe. My problem with him, he plays like he's got sand in his pocket sometimes. Like I want to see more running from him. But Malik Tillman from yesterday, that free kick, man, to step up and take that,
Oh yeah,
and
that was
score
tough.
it. And the fact, like, real quick, the discipline we show going down to 10 men and them not even sniffing a clear chance shows just the shape of this defense and the pure willingness of the players to just want to go and win it. To score on them down a man, come on now.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. When during that portion of the game, I was like infuriated, and I just had Twitter fingers. I'm not gonna lie. I was so distracted at that point. Like after this happened, and then like I looked up and I was like, oh, we won, cool. But yeah, I mean the resilience that you have to show to like literally be down a man, still score, right? Because we were only up 1-0 when this happened, as you guys can see. Like they could have easily equalized it, but we went up another one again. Malik Tillman, that was an insane free kick. I've always been fascinated by free kicks where like you go over the wall and then around the goalie, and like I think it didn't even go around the goalie. I think it went through his hands, right?
It dipped, like it went up and then it went right down the way it kicked. A little bit of dip
okay.
on that.
So
Yeah,
the goalie never even got a hand on it.
if he did, it was late and he was never gonna save it. And there was only one place he was gonna put it, and the fact he stepped up alone, kind of showing like, you know what, no gimmicks, nobody's gonna fake her on it, just me. That's balls. And he's a youngster. He'll be here with his team for a long time, but the future looks bright for us, and I'm very excited. I'm proud of this team already, and let's hope the run keeps on going after Monday.
You know, I didn't even realize this is totally a noob take. I forgot that you can, like, on a free kick, you can pass out of it. Like, you don't have to, like, take a shot on goal.
And there was a game yesterday. It was Congo against England. They had a chance outside the box, and England was kind of expecting a kick, and they didn't pass it, and it goes over. Same thing happened with Senegal. I'm like, I know you want to be the hero, but pass it. Like there's somebody just 1-on-1. You can get a good chance off, but
what happened with Senegal yesterday? I heard like there's some controversy behind that
lead.
too.
They blew a 2-0 lead. It was the 80-something minute. Belgium scored 2 goals in 3 minutes, and then in the 120th minute, they gave up a penalty. For me, stonewall penalty. They cross it in. The Belgian player, Yuri Tielemans, is going to get there first. Defender takes him out. I hate the game had to end like that, but it is a foul in the box, which is a penalty. They score that, they win the game.
Yikes. Man. Well, I mean, Belgium it is in the round of 16.
That's why I wanted.
Can't wait for that. I mean, yeah, we get a revenge game from what, 2022?
2014.
2014.
That's when Tim
That's
Howard
right,
had
2014.
like
Yeah.
15 or 16 saves that game.
Damn. Tim Howard and Clint Dempsey. Those were the days, man. But yeah. So that is our World Cup update. We will be back on Monday giving you another update as more teams, more countries will be eliminated between now and then. So make sure you stay around, stay tuned for more World Cup. Wait, you got a little parlay for us or before we go?
This game's pretty stinky. It's 0-0. I'll have a parlay on Monday for sure for the USA game.
Okay.
But what games we have? We have France are playing, I think, on Saturday against Paraguay. Over 3.5 goals. Mbappe to score, Olise to assist. Paraguay, their run's gonna come to an end. I've never been so more confident. Like it might be 4-0, 5-0. France are ruthless. They won't put the foot off the gas. And the thing is, like they can put their backups on. They're just gonna do the same thing as well. 4-0, 5-0 France on Saturday.
You also have, I believe it's Mexico and England, right?
I'm hate watching Mexico. I am. I'm rooting for England. Unless they play USA.
Oh, those are your boys. Declan Rice is over there, right?
Declan, Saka, Madueke, and then we have an Eze. So I have 4 Arsenal players who play for them. But Harry Kane's so freaking good as a striker.
Yeah,
he is so good. He scored a nasty goal. Mexico have not lost this World Cup. They look really, really good. I'm still not sold by them. I don't know what it is. I'm still not sold. But if they beat England, you got me. Yeah, you got me. Hands up. I can't really downplay what you're doing.
Mexico's got a lot of momentum right now. They just broke like a crazy curse, right? They beat Ecuador for the first time in however many years, right? I mean, they're riding high right now, and they got that young 17-year-old. Can't remember his name, but I don't know.
Yeah.
They're showing a lot of promise right now.
And it's a home game for them. So England have got to step up. Jude Bellingham, I'm looking at you. I need more out of you. Harry Kane will step up. Their midfielders, Rice, he might not play. He's battling an eye word right now. He's been hurt for a while, even back when he was playing with Arsenal.
Yeah.
Defense has to step up. I think England wins this, though. 2-1.
2-1.
I think
Okay.
they do.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, you heard the props there. My guy Alex will have more props on Monday for USA's game against Belgium. Cannot wait for that. But listen, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap this episode of the show. Episode 420 of the Purple Rain podcast has been a good one. Be sure to like this video before you get out of here. Subscribe if you are new, you enjoyed the content you just witnessed. And Replay Gang, always special salute to you as well. Be sure to like the video, hype the video, all the things, comment down below. But yeah, with that being said, we'll see you guys on Monday. Well, I'll see you guys tomorrow for the happy hour stream. You guys know, special happy hour 4th of July edition. Make sure you come through. But yeah, until Monday, me and Alex we'll be back. Alex, take us out.
Be safe this weekend, please. I don't want you to light your fingers off. Be safe when you're setting off fireworks. If you don't feel safe, don't do it. Just don't do it. I promise you somebody else will be lighting them off. But yes, as always, stay positive and test negative.
Yes. And never, ever, ever forget, even on the rainiest of days, to call God. And as always, may purple rain.